Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future.
Hello and a warm welcome to Polycab and CNBC-TV18 Present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future, where we explore the critical role of electrical safety in shaping India's infrastructure landscape. In today's podcast, we will turn our focus to the real estate sector, discussing how electrical safety can be seamlessly integrated into modern residential and commercial projects. Joining us for this insightful conversation is Kruthivas, founder and managing director here at Pushkar Properties. Now, with a rich expertise in real estate development and a strong emphasis on building safer, future-ready spaces, he brings invaluable perspectives on the challenges, innovations, and future of electrical safety in real estate. So, with no further ado, let's get started. Kruthivas, good to have you here with us on this podcast. First up, what are some of the projects that you are the most proud of here at Pushkar Properties? And more importantly, can you also tell me a little bit about the kind of role that developers play in ensuring electrical safety across the board, both commercial and residential projects?
See, we're obviously proud of all our projects. We essentially do luxury housing, and we're basically doing just the CBD area. And most of our projects are size-wise, they're 2,000 plus square feet. So you're talking in a range of about 4 crore plus apartments. So we're quite proud of all our offerings. As far as electrical safety goes, it doesn't matter which project that we should be careful about or not careful about. I think it's a very generic thing that you should take care of as a developer, whether it's commercial, residential, whether it's EWS housing or luxury housing. I think the yardstick remains the same. And proper planning, I would say, ensuring that you have the MEP consultants before you start the planning, ensuring that you have all the codings that are to be taken care of, the standardized codes that have to be bought in to ensure that you have a set standard in terms of your electrical. Making sure that you're abiding to the national code. Your labor makes a huge difference. And of course, the quality of the product that you use. So I think it's everything put together that helps a developer get to a particular, a safety standard, a yardstick of what has to be delivered in a home to a home buyer, or whether it's a commercial project. I think it's a bit of everything. It's not just one thing. It's a bit of everything. You're planning, you're ensuring that you're abiding by the codes, national codes, safety codes, making sure that you have the right set of laborers and the right set of wiring and your electrical cabling and everything, the right brands, everything. I think it's a holistic thing that we'll have to look at.
And you talk about the holistic point of view, and as you are aware, Polycab has been advocating for a while with regard to enhancing overall electrical safety standards across project itself. How do you feel such advocacy, what kind of a role do you think it can play in enhancing the overall electrical safety standards as far as real estate in India is concerned?
I think you'll have to understand that the urban India and the rural India are not the same. Okay, so your standards are very different, and a company like Polycab is bringing in a set of standards, helping the rural consumer and the urban consumer be on par with each other in terms of safety, and also ensuring that in the long run, that whether it's a rural or a urban client, everybody is on par. I would say that they're educating the market, ensuring that we have a set standard. I think they're not just selling a product. I think they're also doing a larger thing here by making sure that the whole of the country is on a platform where we have certain yardstick. And I think that is very important in the long run. And quite happy that Polycab is doing it and is the front runner in doing it.
Right, right. Now, just shifting back to real estate for a bit, what we see around us is a surge in high-rises. That's something that's been the enduring feature of our skyline here in Chennai or anywhere else across the country. And with these high-rises coming to be part and parcel of our real estate, what kind of an impact do you feel it can throw out in terms of a whole new set of electrical challenges? And how are developers like yourself addressing such challenges that may come to be on account of the new influx or surge of high-rises that we're witnessing?
More wiring. High-rises means more wiring, more cabling. Your circuit boards, more complicated. More earthing. You'll have to be very careful with the earthing part of it. See, in all, I feel that you'll have to plan it well. Right. Yes, what you said is right. There are more high-rises coming up in India than ever before, and not just in Chennai but across the country. The urban density is becoming more. Obviously, I think as a developer, you'll have to plan it out well. You can't walk into a high-rise building by not planning it well. Right. You'll have to really meticulously do it. Like the way you plan everything else, you'll have to ensure that electrical is also a core component in the building. So it's not just your electrical part of it, is your fire, your other things that also come into it. So I think you'll have to, as a developer, you'll have to bring in a good MEP, make sure that your electrical, plumbing, mechanical is all in place before you get into the project. Ensure that you finish off the selection of your cables, making sure, whether you're going to go for a FRLS, whatever grading that you want, making sure that you have your fire extinguishers, your sprinkler systems, ensuring that everything is actually planned well before you get into it. Will sort out a lot of your issues in a high-rise. And also your ducts, your shafts, making sure that they are in places where it is accessible, making sure that your earthing for the entire building is done properly. You will have voltage issues. You'll have to take into consideration everything before you get into a high-rise. I think if you plan it properly, you shouldn't have any surprises. As long as you have the right set of people and the right set of cables and the right set of plans in place, I think those are the most crucial things that any developer should look into any high-rise. Right. Quite frankly, I think it goes into even for a non-high-rise.
For sure, because safety is of course a concern across the board. But now I'm curious, as a developer, what are some of the more common electrical hazards that you encounter, on a more regular basis, and this applies to both commercial and residential buildings? And what are some of the mitigation measures that you look at to go about, tackling this at the design stage itself?
The most common thing is overloading. That's the most common thing. So, your power surges, you're overloading. There are projects where we have dedicated transformers and we still have outages. So these are things that are going to be, they're just going to be there. So you'll have to plan it well. These are the most common issues that we face. I think the right set of equipment with the proper planning will sort it out. Of course, with a lot of these EVs coming in, the amount of power that is being consumed by an average home has gone up today. Right. So if you don't plan it well and if you don't have the right set of breakers, the right set of wiring, making sure that you have given the right proper voltages, these are the common issues, and I think we can sort it out if you actually plan it well and make sure that you are taking into account what is going to be the consumption of that house, or what is going to be the consumption of the entire project, keeping in that buffer, making sure that if you take care of all this, I think it should be.
You mentioned electrical vehicles, but I'm also compelled to ask you, with the recent demand for smart home technology in so many homes, I often wonder, how do real estate developers then contend with whatever challenges come about in terms of electrical safety on account of this requirement? Are there challenges at all?
There are. Smart homes have become like, it's no more a luxury. I think even a budget home is today coming with a part of it as a smart home today. Right. So people are now offering smart homes in terms of your remotely controlled, not just your air conditioners, your fans, your lights, everything is controlled remotely. So the smart home concept is now becoming the thing of the day. So it is going to be there. The only challenge that we face is, you'll have to integrate everything together. So it's more of data coming in, and your electrical, everything has to get integrated. So again, it all boils down to planning. If you want to do a full-fledged smart home where you have your curtains, everything integrated, add on to that with your EVs and everything, your consumption goes up, which means you'll have to really plan it well. Ensure that you have a proper MEP person helping you put it out in place, and then it's sorted out. But smart homes integration is also not very cumbersome lately. You have different technologies that have come in. The most basic ones are very easy to adapt, but the most complicated ones will definitely need some amount of planning. I wouldn't say it is a challenge. I think it is just a phase that the industry is going through where everybody is getting accustomed to it. Right. And I think in a few years' time, I think we are already matured as a market. I think in a few years' time, all your homes will be smart homes. Right. I'm pretty much sure that you will be able to control most of it through your mobile app.
Right. So how do manufacturers like Polycab, and you've worked with them extensively, with its range of wires and cables, ensures that the electrical demands of today, especially with regard to new electrical systems, how do you ensure that there is always a supply to meet this growing demand, in terms of smart home appliances?
They have a wide range of products. I would say tried, tested, proven in the market, from your FRLS to all the cabling systems that you can imagine. They have pretty much everything. They're quite updated. They understand how the market is moving. They understand the smart homes that are coming up today. They are quite updated, and they're integrating themselves to the needs of the day. And most of our residential projects, we don't have any issues. I think they're pretty much on date when it comes to the integration part of it, or making sure that the cables that they have, the system, the back end that is needed for a smart home is already in place. Right. And in market. And I think it's a good synergy that is happening.
Right. Now, just coming back to the concept of electrical safety, which is the core of our very discussion itself, how do we ensure that modern demands in terms of lifestyle requirements, we're talking home offices, or home entertainment systems, you mentioned electric vehicles, how do you ensure that these go about influencing the kind of design and implementation of electrical systems that you bring about purely from a safety perspective?
I think post-pandemic, everybody had got into this work from home. So what that has done is, I know we are out of the pandemic, but we still have got into that culture of work from home. So obviously the power consumption from your average home has gone up. The amount of computing that is being done, your routers, and all the gadgets that come along with it, the networking, cables, everything that comes along with it has gone up multifold. There's no doubt about it. Also, as you mentioned, the next generation is getting into gaming systems, smart homes, add up everything together, it's compounded, and the amount of gadgets that are there in a home today is definitely unimaginable than what it would have been a decade ago. Right. So, yes, the market is catching up, and I believe that a company like Polycab is also there to ensure that they're giving you the right set of cablings, the right set of hardware that we need to cable it up. As far as the challenges goes, like I said again, we have to plan it well, and if we take care of the cabling part, your DBs, MCBs, ELCBs, your switch gear put in place, and as long as it is already planned to ensure that you take into account the amount of computing power that is getting into a home today, and the other smart home technologies that are getting in today, as long as you factor into all of those, I don't think there's an issue.
But inherent changes to design, do you foresee that happening?
It's already there in the process. It's not like what it was a decade ago, like I said. You can't just go give a two-way switch and get away with it.
Right.
It doesn't work like that anymore. Right. I mean, starting from your video door phone to your air condition to your curtains is now controlled on an app. Right. And everybody wants it. You know, whether you're a 40, 50 lakh client who's buying a home, first time home buyer, to a 6, 7, 8 crore home buyer, everybody wants something like that. I think it's more of a convenience than a luxury today. Right. And I feel the market is catching up, keeping up to it. And it is going forward too. I don't think it's going to reduce any further.
But you know, Kruthivas, something we may not have spoken about as much, but I also feel needs as much attention, is that as the focus also is now firmly on sustainable construction practices, how do you ensure electrical safety when it comes to, let's say, a solar panel or power distribution systems? You want to, of course, go about implementing your more sustainable construction practices in our effort to go green, but is electrical safety a concern insofar as these aspects are also concerned?
Not really at all. Today, 1/3 of your terrace space has to be solar mandatory in the state of Tamil Nadu. This is mandatory. Now, about 10 years ago, we were giving you a battery backup for your solar energy that was being installed on your terrace. Now, that is gone. All the projects that we're doing, and I'm pretty sure every developer in town does this now, nobody gives you a battery backup. All the solar panels that are getting connected to your terrace is now put onto the grid. So basically what you produce on your terrace goes to the grid, and what you consume is being directed out of your monthly electricity bill. Right. So that is the leap in terms of advancements that we have come in terms of harnessing your green energy today. And like I said, the government has made it mandatory. 1/3 of your terrace space has to be solar in any new building that you go for an approval today. So as far as the hardware goes, the back end of it goes, yeah, you need a special type of cables for it. You need those weatherproof cabling and all, and you need a certain set of cabling for that, which is there in the market. Right. And like I told you, if you plan it well and if you have a good MEP plan in place, you wouldn't see that as a challenge.
Absolutely. And it's heartwarming to know that it does not pose challenges of its own, given the fact that we're all heading in that direction anyway. But I'm in fact extremely curious to find out. You spoke so much about how your company is into luxury and super luxury itself. How do you balance the aesthetic of pulling off projects in this space, high-end residential, luxury housing, with the bare necessities of ensuring hygiene in terms of electrical safety, design, and making sure that this is all looked into, while also maintaining a design and aesthetic that flows across your properties?
I think the product range has evolved over a period of time. The products that are coming in today in the market are very aesthetically sensed, manufactured. The client is also, I like to say that the home buyer today, your average home buyer today is very knowledgeable. They are not what they were about 20 years ago. They come to you with a lot of homework done. They're well traveled. They've seen a lot of things. They bring in a lot of demand also. So the market has moved to a position where I feel that what was termed as luxury about 10 years ago today has become a necessity. Right. It could be as small as, let's say, the lights that you give in the bottom of the bedrooms, your night lights. We never had those 10, 15 years ago. Right. Today they're all basics. So the clientele also is demanding today. And luxury is now, I would say, becoming like a necessity. It's not a luxury anymore, most of these things that your home buyer is asking today. And the market is keeping up to it in terms of the products that are coming out today, the range of the products that are coming out today. I think they are in sync. They're doing quite a lot of research and understanding what the market needs today, what the home buyer is looking at today. So I think they are in sync. And as a developer, as long as you do your homework well and you ensure that you're getting into a segment where you need, if you have a checklist And if you understand that this particular segment, this particular project, this particular price range, this particular costing will need this as basics, I think you should be good to go. As long as you plan it well, I think you're good to go.
Yeah. And from a more B2B perspective, what more can real estate developers do to ensure that existing electrical systems, are accessible for maintenance and repair, activities that are, part and parcel of maintaining a home, running a home, while also not compromising on the safety that lies therein? Is there a playbook of sorts that you can adhere to or refer to while ensuring both these outcomes are maintained?
Have a good electrical consultant. Make sure that you have a plan in place, not just for a new project, but also in terms of maintenance, as you said, in an existing project or a project that is going to age. Ensure that you have the proper ducting. Ensure that you have the proper places where you can access the ducts. Make sure that if there is an issue, you will be able to solve it. Make sure that you do the earthing properly. Make sure that you have the right set of cables. Ensure that you have a proper MEP who has helped you, advised you to get the right things in place. I think if you have this checklist in place, you should be good to go. Yeah.
And what are some of the emerging trends that you see as a developer coming about that could well impact electrical safety at real estate projects, both commercial and residential? And how should developers prepare to meet these trends that could well be on the horizon?
Smart homes, number of EVs, these are going to be the norm of the day. I don't think we can get away with both these things when it comes to a residential project. When it comes to commercial projects, today we're getting huge commercial projects coming in. The IT infrastructure needs a certain set of checklists that they need. You have data warehousing projects which are coming in, which requires a huge amount of electricity. So the residential space, the commercial space, the IT space, everything is now advancing at a speed at which we never thought it would, or we never anticipated it at this pace. I think as a developer, as long as we are in the residential space, so we don't do IT and commercial. So as a residential developer, I think as long as you plan your projects well and you have the right set of people to work on it, the right set of laborers, the right set of contractors, electrical contractors, the right set of MEPs to guide you, and of course the right set of products, the product range, I think we will be able to get over these challenges that we are going to face. But smart homes and EVs are going to rule the roast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, before we end, I have to ask you, what has been the experience like in terms of the association that you've had with Polycab? How long have you been working with them? And what has the experience been like thus far?
We worked with almost every cable company. Polycab has been one of those front runners who has been there in the market for a long time. They're pioneers, so nobody has to say anything more about their brand or how long have they been. So one of those front runners, very dependable organization, and you can close your eyes and make sure that you have the product that you want for a particular application in any project that you are implementing. And also make sure, and also it gives you that peace of mind that you have the right set of cables in the place and you wouldn't have any issues.
Absolutely. Might I say, Kruthivas, that was truly an enlightening conversation that we've had on the vital role of electrical safety in real estate. A big thank you to you, Kruthivas, for sharing these expert insights on building safer, smarter, and more sustainable spaces. And as we continue our journey through Polycab and CNBC-TV18's Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future, stay tuned for more expert-led discussions on shaping a safer, smarter infrastructure landscape. Until next time, stay safe, stay future-ready, and continue building a brighter tomorrow.
Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future.